welcome to Wrestling Untold. I am here with Carter Shorts, and I am here with my co-host,
Keaton Shorts, or as they used to call me around the way, Keaton drop you with a backflip shorts. Hey, how's everybody out there? This is episode 1 of Wrestling Untold, as you can see from the signage here. It's just a little father and son duo here, and we both fell in love with wrestling in separated decades for that matter, for lack of a better term. And we want to kind of get into that and talk about that, right?
Yep.
And we want to give that to you, the masses. So I'll give you a little bit brief history about myself. I am a humbly said awesome person, even more awesome father. I loved wrestling for a long time. I lost my love, and Carter's helped bring it back to me. What about you, Carter?
I started watching wrestling in about late 2017, and I liked it ever since.
Well, we'll get into the details of that. You want to start first? Or me to start first?
Okay, I'll start first.
There we go.
So I'll introduce myself. So I am a 6th grader at Wild Lake Middle School, and I started watching wrestling in 2017, where Daddy brought a game back from Redbox, and I fell in love with it ever since.
2K17.
Yep.
Not plugging that. Just 2K. They don't pay us. 2K17.
Yes, 2K17.
They can pay us.
Want to sponsor us?
There you go.
And of course, he beat me the whole games, but I picked up the wrestling names fast, and I started watching Raw, and then I watched SmackDown, and then I watched NXT, and I watch everything now, but the other shows.
Yeah. So his favorite wrestler is actually on his table right now, and his favorite wrestler is probably not who you would guess it would be, because he was not alive when his favorite wrestler was great. His favorite wrestler's old now. He's no longer great. He doesn't wrestle. He probably can, but his favorite wrestler, as you guessed it, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Now I'm going to tell you, I hated Shawn Michaels as a kid, so this is kind of like a kick where the sun don't shine, because Shawn Michaels beat my favorite wrestler, who's not on this table for some weird reason, but we do have him. My favorite wrestler is Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
More like Owen Hart.
No. So I'll get going. I fell in love with wrestling. I honestly don't know the year, but it happened when I moved to McDonough Village. I moved to McDonough Village. I was in the 5th grade at the time, and I lived in 3706 Bryceman. This is get very detailed. Apartment I. Directly underneath me was someone who is still a lifelong friend of mine's. Shouts out to Dante. Him and his brother Chucky, or Deshaun, depending on how close you are to him, they both watch wrestling religiously, and I kind of just, I fell right in. We were such good friends, and I just, it was almost an addiction. As soon as it cut on the TV, I couldn't pull away from it. At the time, wrestling came on Monday nights, and I'm not 100% sure if we had cable, but came on Monday nights, and I watched a lot of it at Dante's house. But it also came on Saturday mornings. So Saturday morning show was like an hour, I think maybe half an hour. And Monday Night Raw was I think it was from like 8 to 10, if I'm not mistaken. And we did have cable. It was only one TV in the house. That was a living room TV. And at that time, I didn't really watch football, so it had been really, really early 90s. My dad did, so Monday nights was football nights. I usually could not watch wrestling at home on Monday nights. But I kind of fell in love, and again, I really took a liking to. I had a lot of favorite wrestlers, but Bret Hart was my ultimate favorite wrestler. Razor Ramon, who would own and be Scott Hall in WCW for the NWO, was one of my other favorite wrestlers. But I loved it. I loved everything about it. At the time, there was only the major pay-per-views, so you only got Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, SummerSlam,
yeah.
But you also got like King of the Ring thrown in there.
In your house.
And then they started doing the In Your Houses, which was coming like every other month, just about. It was like the filler months. And it was just crazy. Like the storylines were crazy. Everything. It was. I honestly, it was like my life. My life depended on if I knew what was going on in wrestling. And I mean, it's kind of, that went on until I guess I got to like maybe ninth or 10th grade. And then that love for wrestling got filled with love for girls, which probably was a relief to my parents that I was no longer into these half-naked muscular men wrestling each other on TV. But, it was just great. And it was very, very great. So I'll give you guys a quick story. Carter was maybe 2, my mom bought Keaton this wrestling belt. And I hadn't been watching wrestling or anything. And it kind of sat in the toy box for years. And for many, many years, it just was unplayed with. And when Carter got into wrestling, I pulled it out the toy box, and he was basically just wearing this thing around the house. So he is Roman Reigns your first action figure?
Yeah, he actually is. I
Yeah,
got him from Pop Pop.
So he got into wrestling, and we would buy the WWE 2K games, but then Carter started playing with the action figures. And these action figures are, they're pretty cool. They had action figures when I was younger, but they were like all rubber. And these actually kind of, they're very detailed. They move and so forth. And so he got into, and what started as one has gone to how many? Like 60 or 70 wrestlers at this point.
I think it's 52.
52.
Yeah. This is just a half.
This is a portion. This is a very small portion of wrestling action figures. So we just kind of, our love for it has grown, and it's at times wrestling is so up and down. It can be really great at times and then really not great at times. Yep. But that's anything that you're gonna get. But today we just wanted to talk about how we got there. What was our love like? And I'll tell you, Carter and I, we watched a lot of old wrestling, and I think that's where his appreciation for Shawn Michaels came in. Because he was a great wrestler. Great wrestler. But I've watched a lot of the newer stuff, and I didn't think I would like the newer stuff, honestly, because I'm a man of my decade. And when I was born in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, so the 90s to me meant everything. So I just kind of like stuck to that for the most part. And who would have known? I actually like wrestling now, and I very much so get into a lot of it. So at this point, I think I really like Bianca Belair, who was the current SmackDown Women's Champion.
She defeated Sasha Banks at April the 10th, 2021 WrestleMania.
She won the Royal Rumble this year, and we've been watching Bianca Belair since NXT.
Yeah, we watched her Chronicle too. And
she's been great, and I'd be the first one to say I think she's very, very beautiful, very athletic, and I think that's where we first started watching. I was like, oh, who's this person? Who is she?
She deserved everything she was given.
Yeah, so she. It was pretty cool to see her come through the ranks, so quickly. And she missed the championship in NXT just a few times. She got defeated, but it was all good because she had a lot on the horizon for her in WWE.
Big plans for her.
What they call the main roster, but we believe NXT sometimes it's the main roster.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the better product. So we kind of just So I think you'll be getting a lot of these shorter videos from us. So there may be some longer ones at some point. But today we just kind of wanted to give you all a sneak peek at, episode 1. And we have a lot of things coming. What we'll be doing is we'll be talking about a lot of the, not unlike the recap shows, we'll probably be giving you our point of view of how we what we felt about SmackDown and what we felt about the pay-per-views for the most part. I was telling Carter when I was a kid, like WrestleMania was like $39, and you had to pay it through your cable provider. And it's so cool now that we had the network until they shut the network down, and now it's just Peacock. Not a plug for them either, because they don't pay us unless they want to.
Free.
So we had Peacock, and we can just watch every single pay-per-view now, and that's pretty cool. So when I was younger, there was like a need for wrestling, and we would constantly say, like, God, if they only have like a wrestling channel. And fast forward 15 some odd years later, now they do have a wrestling channel, well, so to speak. So we will be talking about that. Do you want to talk about anything else today?
Yeah, wrestling has changed over the years, like War Games, WCW, now it's NXT War Games, and we have a lot of new NXT stars, like Finn Balor, Adam Cole, and of course the
Baby.
train.
You didn't say baby.
Adam Cole.
Baby.
Baby.
Boom.
And we have the trainer,
Shawn
for the
Michaels.
most part.
Yeah, he is doing a great job with the NXT talent.
And then we have this guy where we don't know where he
Velveteen
is.
Dream.
Where
He'll
is
be back. He will be back. Washington D.C.'s own Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
So he will be back.
He was on social media saying he had a lot of issues.
One of the greatest soon to come wrestlers. Velveteen. One of my favorite also. They have some great young talent at NXT, and I think that's why we like watching that one a lot. But we love it. We it's great to kind of have had something as a kid, and then to see your kid have it and kind of experience it with them. So those are great moments that we will be sharing with the general public. I tell Carter all the time, he's a superstar. He's one of the smartest kids I've ever met. Superstar in the making. He's got some great ideas, and this world he's gonna have some great influence in this world one day.
Yep.
So I think that's do we have anything else to talk about on this episode, or are we gonna save it for episode 2?
Save it for episode 2.
All right, so we will see you guys episode 2. Now, what we want to do is give big shouts out to JoJo Bean. She's been very patient while Carter and I have planned and set up this whole thing and done it. And she's been, hey JoJo, come on in here. She's been very, very, nope, right here. She's also a huge wrestling fan. You say hey to everybody.
Hi.
She's who's your favorite wrestler? Sasha Banks. So so she's a huge wrestling fan. All right, get out of here. Beat it. All right. So we've had a great time. Right about now, and if you guys want to sponsor us, we'll be singing your praises right about now.
What about
and everything.
DraftKings? You want to sponsor us?
All right, slow down now. Let's get some small guys in before we
Come
look
on,
for the
Taco
big
Bell.
guys.
Come on.
So we're grateful you guys watch. We're thankful. We just want to say thank you to anybody that is paying any attention to this, because this is a passion of ours.
Yep.
And we want to say, if it's just we have one fan, if we have one person listening, we're grateful. If we have 100,000, we're grateful for each one of you. You want to say anything before we exit out?
And we have a lot planned for episode number 2. A lot.
We do. I had to slow them down. I had a whole production list. I was like, let's slow down. Let's introduce ourselves first.
So stay tuned in this wonderful series.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You gotta do the same thing I do.
Stay tuned. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.